Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us today. We will be recording this session today for the benefit of all. Thank you for joining for awareness of the Safer Internet Day. I'm going to pause here because we have with us Ms. Dr. Vinnie Jory actually. So I'm going to request Dr. Vinnie Jory to please address you so that we can take this forward.
Good morning, everyone, and we're really delighted to have all of you on board today on this program on Safer Internet Day 2019. And Microsoft is delighted to have this session organized through Meenakshi Oberoi, who's been a passionate supporter and an evangelist as well. We all know that technology is going to transform every single aspect of our life. And as we continue to embrace the digital transformation, it is also important that we are more aware of cybersecurity issues and how we can access internet safely, both for ourselves and our student community as well. Since all of you are leaders and are inspiring the students to embrace digital technologies, I think we have a big responsibility on our shoulders to adopt safer internet practices as well. So I hope that this session is useful, and the exercises that Meenakshi will conduct today, you'll be able to replicate and then communicate the same to your students so that they are more aware and agile on these practices. Also, I would like to share that we have developed curriculum on cybersecurity, which we can share with all of you. So there are slide decks and reading materials, and we're going to upload the same on a public website. And we look forward to your support to you can have a look at that material, use it as effectively as possible in your schools and ecosystem. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Vinny, for your kind words. I think it's imperative that when we start talking on the Safer Internet Day, we must let you know that this is an international day of action to promote safer and more responsible use of technology and services, particularly among young children and young people. Before we deep dive into this, we always keep our sessions engaging. So I'm going to engage you in a poll. I request you to please help us understand what all and where all do you use internet. So here's the poll. The poll is live now. It's interesting how the dynamics are changing with each finger coming in or each response coming in. Great. So as far as I see, it's more for networking and browsing. And the third is, I guess, entertainment or shopping. Well, yes, you're right. What do you use internet for? Perhaps it allows you to actually stay updated with the breaking news. It might even be one of your one-stop shop for shopping, gaming, and getting the work done. Or maybe it's just a tool that you use to connect with friends, family in far-flung locations or closer. So yeah, whatever the usage may be, we are the consumers of technology. Therefore, we must be very mindful of what all can we do with internet, what are the do's and the don'ts, and how can we actually empower our young children or students to be safer on the World Wide Web. Well, this Internet Day, we have a theme, and the theme is Together for a Better Internet. That is a call for action for all stakeholders to join together and play their part in creating a better internet for everyone, and especially the young users. Why we keep referring to young users is because we know that they are the most vulnerable ones. So what are we doing to support SID, that is the Safer Internet Day slogan, Together for a Better Internet, is what I'm going to ask you at the end of this session. With the aim of helping to make the internet a safer and more enjoyable environment for everyone, here are some quick tips. I'm sure you as experts are well versed with this. I'll try and make an effort to add to more onto your platter. Well, you know me very well. I am Meenakshi Oberoi, and I will be taking you through this presentation today. In case you feel any hitches or glitches, we have Jyoti and Chandeep with us who will help us join back. So I hope everybody can still hear me.
Yes, we can, Meenakshi.
Yes, Meenakshi, we can hear you.
Okay, great. Thank you. Um, One of the most important ways to ensure your online interactions are safe and secure is to protect your password. Well, the good news is that protecting your password is in your control. You just need to create strong passwords and then keep them a secret. If someone has your house key, they enter and burglarize your home, you know that will not end up really good. So the same is true with the passwords in online accounts. Too often we see passwords are too easy to remember, such as names or birth dates. But if it's easy to remember, it's likely to be easy for cybercrimes to guess. If you use the same simple password for multiple accounts, then cyber criminals can and will be able to access all your sensitive information. Well, let's think about it as a toothbrush. Just like you wouldn't share your toothbrush with anyone, you would want to keep that a secret with yourself. I think it should be very, very unique to you. The use of password is exactly the same. Use a unique password for each website. If someone steals a password that you use on multiple websites, all the information password protects on all of those sites are at risk. So change your passwords just like your toothbrush quite regularly, particularly those that safeguard your computer, important accounts like your email or your Facebook account, and sensitive informations like your financial or health data. How do you create these strong passwords? Well, it's not that bad. You choose good one, you never share it, and change it occasionally. Choosing a strong password is as easy as that have 8 characters, have a mix of uppercase, lowercase, numbers, and symbols. Well, I know it's not that easy to create that mixed a password every time, but I guess for your own security, you could always create a good permutation and combination at least. Well, do remember, it should not be a word in the dictionary because it's discoverable. It should not be a name of a person or a popular entity or any location that you live in. Well, that's dangerous and easily identifiable. Significantly different from your previous passwords because the easiest way to change a password is to just change around a few alphabets and that's about it. Well, easy to remember but difficult for others to guess. That's most important because what's the point if you yourself forget that whole password? But don't worry, we have certain password managers. Or you could use a password manager to save multiple passwords to different accounts safely and make sure that each password is complex. Again, using at least 8 to 10 characters and a mix of letters, capitals, and special characters. Whenever possible, change password immediately on accounts you have suspected that they might have been compromised. There are these password managers that are available on our Windows 10 store, which are absolutely free of cost, and for you to actually download and use them. I would highly encourage you to use these. Number 2, don't accept invites from strangers, especially on social media. At the click of a button, as soon as you get a request, you check out who the person is and you just press a go. Well, think before you click. Not everyone you meet online and is who they claim to be. And I know many of you would be smiling right now because you would have certainly encountered at least one person whom you would have befriended on social media and you would have ended up thinking, why did I do this? Well, it's common for cyber criminals to create fake social media profiles to foster relationships with unwary users and pick their cyber pockets or worse. Well, if that hasn't happened with you, we're lucky. But we should not be really sitting and waiting for any of these things to happen. If you're approached by a stranger online who insists you share your personal information or request money, that should be set. That should actually set the alarm off in your head. If possible, search the person directly to see if account is authentic. Still unsure about the person's identity and want to accept the friend request anyway, just to be on the safe side, limit the information that you are going to give that person to preview or your profile, using your privacy settings. That I feel is basically one of the pages which is highly unused by us. Remember, the same rule applies online as they do in the real world. Be smart, safe, meet, accept, reliable, and tell. Well, telling is the most important portion, is what I would say here, because we really don't think uh, before we befriend someone, or even after having accepted their friend request. Sometimes we sometimes encounter certain things where we feel that we shouldn't have, but we still move on and don't tell others about it. Well, telling is equally an important part. You would have come across, at least I have, on many social media, people do make an announcement to say, you know what, if this one befriends you, beware, because you know that this person might not be the person that he's posing to be on this internet. Moving on, online actions can have offline consequences. Actually, this is not moving on, this is moving forward from what I've just talked. Imagine John being a weirdo on a post and you ping, ping, ping and share with friends and you land up in I don't know what. Well, it's a whole net of things that you might land into. Therefore, please think of the internet like a town square or a sidewalk. It's a public space after all, where anyone can see or share anything you publish, irrespective of whether it's meant for them or if you have given them permission or not. Before you post something online, ask yourself, would I want my employer, my customer, my relative to know this? Even things like your relationship status or home address, which might be harmless, can be misused by wrong people who have wrong intent. We must protect the sensitive and personal information. That's number 4. With a few exceptions, unfortunately, there's no permanent delete key for content posted online, and that is harrowing an experience or a fact to know. But any image, comment, or photo you post online is likely to remain there forever. Even if you remove the original post, you can't be sure that others have not made comments or shared. Sorry, I'll pause here. Is there an issue anyway?
Yeah, Meenakshi, we can't see the slides. The slide is stuck. It's still stuck on the first slide.
Oh, okay. Let me just.
Yeah.
Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to share my desktop so that you can see it.
Yeah.
Can you see the screen now?
No, it's still. Let's see. It's loading now.
Okay. Thank you, Chandeep. Thank you for saving me this.
Yeah. I was just waiting that if you pause, then I'll just tell you. It's loading, so let's see.
We can see now.
You can see? Okay, great. Thank you. Like I said, protect your sensitive and personal information. Yeah. So with a few exceptions, unfortunately, there is, like I said, no way that, there is no permanent delete key out there for whatever you've posted online. Therefore, we need to be absolutely mindful. As far as sharing of this entire presentation is concerned, yeah, you will be getting this presentation along with other documents during this webinar. So please don't worry. We will be sharing all of this with you. This is for you to take away and use in your classrooms. So certainly we will be sharing all of this with you. Moving on to number 5, be careful where you click. Well, that's most important, because it's not only our children or young people who are doing it. I think even we do it mindlessly. But downloading stuff or just clicking on what pops up on your screen is a bad habit. Avoid downloading apps that look odd or come from an unknown site. We've more than often heard about that. But a tried and tested cyber criminal tactic is to trick you into downloading that malware that allows the cyber criminals, to steal information. From a popular game to an email offering tech support, malware can be disguised in a variety of ways. Avoid downloading apps that look odd. Not sure if the email is legitimate? So many times we've seen not only those lottery winning emails that come up, but also we've of late seen Hi, I think you had lost me there. Jyoti, am I audible?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Yeah,
We can
now
hear
you're
you.
audible.
Sorry, I think it just dropped. I'm so sorry. I'm going to go back into sharing my screen. Or let me just try sharing the same. Let me know if you can see my presentation. Can you see this?
Yeah, it's
It's
loading.
loading. Yeah, good to go.
We can see the first slide. Yeah,
Can you now see
fifth,
the fifth
the
one?
fifth one.
Awesome.
Fine.
So great. So like I was talking, I'm not too sure where I left you yet. I'm just going to be very quick with think before you click. Well, we really need to be extremely careful. So I was talking that in case you find something that looks odd or suspicious, just ask yourself, does the sender have a bizarre email ID? Many times you will see you'll receive an email saying Amazon something. Well, that something should make you suspicious, and you should go and check out what email address it is. If it doesn't look like a legitimate email address, you must avoid checking on into what might follow. So ask yourself: is the greeting impersonal? Are they being rude? Is there a threat in it? Are there a lot of spelling mistakes? Is there a strange sense of urgency? Well, you might even get certain emails from online stores like eBay or Flipkart, or a phone call from a bank who's trying to convince you that they're legitimate, and they might ask you for your password and sensitive information. It could be phishing scam. You may have heard of these con games, referred to as a social engineering. Always access websites using trusted links. Scammers can copy the look of companies' communication to fool you into looking like a phony link and attachment. So use a caution with links that appear in unsolicited emails. At many a times, I have myself actually experienced, and within our groups, we have sent screenshots to say, is this really true or is it really real? And we have our tech expert within our enterprise who would tell me, you know what, don't even try opening this. Just delete it. Just put it outside. So please, it's not something that wouldn't happen to you. I'm sure it can happen to just anybody, and this can land. It's not because you've been visiting any sites or anything. It's just because your email ID was exposed in some which way, which might not, you wouldn't have realized. So if in doubt, go directly to the official website of the bank or the service or the company you're trying to access. If you're still unsure, get in touch with a brand or company so that they can officially actually authenticate whether where you are trying to reach out. Normally you will see that they will have a triple check to see if any risk is being compromised out there. If it hasn't amazed you or made you more conscious, here's a data or a snapshot of what India, because normally I've heard that whatever graphs you show us, it's not Indian. Well, here's a graph on India as to what all how all we behave on the internet. Well, the type of text supports scams, and most believed companies wouldn't initiate unsolicited contact. Here's the data telling you that. What pulls my attention is the online activities. Well, look at that kind of a data where we have data from boomers, millennials, Gen Z and Gen X all, and look at the behaviors. Well, they're not quite different. Therefore, we certainly need to look into what's going on around us. Thankfully, there are features within our own devices, and we can update our settings and privacy antiviruses. So here's installing apps is that easy that if you go into a Windows 10 settings, you simply have to go into apps and features. You can say allow apps anywhere or from a particular location or from outside the store or not. So if each time you try and download and you try and bring it into your system, a pop-up will ask you whether you really want to or whether it's safe or not. So it's systems like this that can make our lives much, much safer. Another very important one. Most of us ignore the updates. Update your privacy settings and antivirus. If you don't update your defenses, cyber criminals will eventually come up with a way to overcome them. Be sure to stay with the current updated operating system updates. We have been trying to push this into multiple educational institutions. Therefore, Microsoft has come up with, especially Microsoft India has come up with programs like MASP, Microsoft Aspire School Program, that help you to very easily at a very minimal cost update your systems, update your settings so that your systems can help you exist and in a very safe way, and your existence in this world is much safer. Here's how you can keep just use your PC to keep yourself safe. Within your PC settings also you have location for this device. You may switch it on or off depending on whether you would want your location to be exposed or not. So please be mindful. Go and visit the location today. Look at the location history to see what all can it reveal. Well, very honestly, this can actually be of help many a times, especially last winter I lost my laptop. It got stolen and I could actually locate where it is. Not that I could get it back, but I could at least see and I actually could remotely control it. So sometimes it is certainly of use. That's why the feature has been given. Yet I would say keep your pieces up to date, keep your locations, change it as you move across the globe. Well, changing your PC or keeping it updated is as simple as you go to Start button, get into Settings, click on Update and Security and Windows and change your active hours. So you could actually set your active hours outside of your working hours to update your PC. Privacy content while browsing online again is a very, very important feature. With every browser, even this, if you see the screenshot, this is a screenshot from Google Chrome. So even if you look at this, there are content settings where you can set. Please click on the Send Do Not Track request for browsing traffic. These are simple and easy ways in which you can keep yourself absolutely safe. Most importantly, what happens when you go on your vacation or you're outside of your internet environment? The first thing that you look for is a free Wi-Fi. Yes, so many smiles is what I can feel across this screen. Will always, always, always use a secure connection. When using a public internet connection, such as Wi-Fi in shopping center or airports, or you have no direct control over its security. If you're unable to establish a secure connection, or ensure that your device is protected. Don't share your sensitive information. It's safer to wait until you're home and use a secure Wi-Fi network. I know it's easier said than done, especially with our younger generation who wants to be always connected. But devices that are shared or available for public use might have key logging feature installed that could capture your password as you type it. Can you believe it? As you type it. You should also avoid allowing your password to be saved on shared or public computers. I know it's easy, just a click to save or remember me is super easy, but it's never ever safe to be that easy. Enable your multi-factor authentication whenever available. So MFA is a method to access control that requires more than one credential for verification, such as requiring both your password and your PIN. Okay, such as requiring both your password and your PIN, or adding another feature like your, let's say, your birthday or your some where you were born kind. I would highly encourage you to.
One second. I will give you.
Is there anyone who wants to say something? No. Okay. So, like I was talking, don't be easy on the questions that you are setting as your security questions, like where you were born or what is your birth month. Be a little difficult. Maybe choose a color. Maybe choose some odd question which looks really odd to you, and that's important. It's all important because you need to be safe on this entire world, which is so hackable, which is so traceable. So certainly a two-tier authentication, and preferably use a VPN connection if available. Making the right choice is absolutely imperative on internet. Ask advice for those who trust. Not everything is what I will know, and not every question can be answered by just me. So never feel rushed to click on a link or publish a post. There's nothing more urgent than your own safety online. Look for the chat windows, look for the pop-ups that say we can help you on those websites, so that you're able to talk to an expert to find out what do you think you should do if you're finding certain icons or certain buttons on your website where you're about to publish a little suspicious. I'm sure they'll be able to help you understand, and navigating online threats can be very stressful, but plenty of resources are there to help you out. Wherever you find yourself in a situation where you're unsure or suspicious, always defer to experts who can actually be an expert or your technology partner, or like we say, always trust the trusted partners who could be a friend, parent, teacher, or even your Microsoft experts for that matter. Many a times, since you will be working on Microsoft tools and technologies, you will find a help button always in your on your screen, and please look for that. Look for the question mark. Go there, ask them before doing anything that you might regret later. Well, if I have scared you enough, here's a game to lighten it up. This Safer Internet Day in 2019, Microsoft has offered us a very interesting game called Chatterbox. You might even know it as a Cootie Coocher. So we very fondly in our primary years call it a Cootie Coocher. So I'm going to give it to you. It's there for you to download and play. There's a whole discussion guide, the one that of course I have spoken to you about, and there is a discussion guide of how you can handle it with your students. So Cootie Coocher looks something like that. A Chatterbox actually looks something like this. Well, yes. We also used to call it a tippy tippy tap when we were young. Yeah, this is the exact game that you're going to play. So here's a whole. There's an attachment here which you can download. You can print it. Preferably, please print it on a photo paper, because when you're playing with students, and I know that it's won't handle it.
Meenakshi,
Thick. Yes.
again we are stuck on the slide, seventh slide. We're not able to see the game which you're talking about.
Okay, 1 second. Let me just
Yeah.
try. Okay, let me try and share my screen. I hope the call doesn't drop, but let me try and share my screen to show you that.
Okay.
Let me know if you can see my screen.
Yeah, now we can.
Awesome. So this is what the Chatterbox is going to look like. It will have 4 images on the outer side and 8 options for students to choose from. So you may please print this on a photo paper like I was saying and play. How to play, the instructions are given out there. Let me show you. This is what it's going to look like, and I think it now should look very familiar to you. So let's say you're playing and a child lands on an image of dog. So you go dog is 3 letters. So you move 3 times. And then of course you move forward into unveiling what number, what information that number displays, and you talk about it and have a conversation with your students. Please make sure that you must play this game with your students because you have some what next steps. You need to share this story. Well, yes, we are awaiting for you to share this story not only on social media using the hashtag SID19 at Microsoft EDU, but also we are here waiting to hear from you. Deepshika will tell you further as to how and what all expectations do we have from you. But Chatterbox is available for you not only here, but I'm also going to post a link in our chat window so that you can get access to that document and more information from that website. I'm going to take a pause here and request Deepshika to please address all the participants. We have about 85 participants here.
Yeah, hi. So I hope I am audible to all.
Yes, you are.
All right. So the whole purpose of this webinar is to make our students aware of the do's and the don'ts while using internet. So with growing digital India, alarming our youngsters is necessary. And Microsoft recently surveyed more than 16,000 people around the world on the impact of technology support scams. And surprisingly, we found that the youth were the most vulnerable. So youth are the most likely to engage in the riskier online behavior, and suddenly they lose money, their parents' money, after continuing an interaction. So as shared by Meenakshi, we will share the deck along with some Chatterbox activity materials at the earliest possible today, and we would request you all to perform this activity in this hour, because the call was scheduled for 10:30 to 12. So for this 1 hour, I would request you all to perform this activity and celebrate the day with the students, and click pictures, share the videos, and share the story with us. Put it on the Teams group so that we can amplify it in our media. So if there is any question, please do ask. So I'm going to share with you the Excel sheet of all the details I would be requiring, as in like the name of the educator, the classes which has participated, the number of students, the activity, and the link for the pictures. You can also share this way. You can also share in whatever interactive or the creative way that you can. But the high quality pictures would be great because we need to amplify it in our media. And so if you could share it today, it'll be great. Or else you can share it by tomorrow morning, I mean by 12 noon. So we will wait by tomorrow 12 noon. But if you can share it with us today, it'll be great.
I see some of you might have challenges in doing it today. Like Deepshika has said, please do it between today and tomorrow. If you want your, classroom activities to be featured in any of the medias, it will be great if you can do it between today and tomorrow, preferably today, because see, the importance of the day must be maintained. And after 85, if we have about 2 or 3 of us who are not able to share today, it's absolutely fine. But let's just show and give a shout out to the day and share what we've been doing. we will be sharing the recording of this webinar on the social media also, so that you can use this itself for sharing amongst your educators, not only to the ICT teachers, but additionally I think there are so many other teachers who would love to take certain initiatives. So please go ahead and share this as widely as possible. I'm going to stop recording now.